Good morning. Yes, prep now, not later. But I want you to understand about prepping. It's not just self-survival. Let me go ahead and read to you this morning. And this is from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, starting verse 1. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have the faith that can move mountains but have not love, the word also is charity, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames but have not love, I've gained nothing. You know, I don't think there's anything scripturally wrong with the idea of preparing for a hard time. But I think in this whole prepping concept, it's got to be more than your survival. You have to be able to willing to look around and say, okay, I'm willing to assist these people if they need it, and plan for assisting them. Okay, I don't know about you, but I like setting aside a little bit of money every now and then just for charity. You know, charity ought to be part of our budget. It really should. And prepping might include setting aside money for charity or things for charity. Now, before I go any further, you know I lost my cookie and my coffee yesterday. So I'm going to immerse. And yes, by the way, 3, 2, 1, and don't lose it this time. And yes, this is an early broadcast. I have to do an early one because I have an 8 o'clock appointment. And I don't want to not do my program, or do our program, excuse me. I think part of prepping is also looking around and ask yourself, what do I need for me and mine? Now, the Bible says, do good unto all men, but first to the household of faith. And so if you're a prepper, and kind of we are, okay, we've already decided where we're going to help and how much we're going to help, and we've already made that plan. So we're meeting our needs and are planning on meeting the needs of others. That's what a good prepper will do, if they're a believer in that sense. The idea is that we are looking to the future. So this morning I want to talk to you about looking to the future. So, prep number 1, who are you prepping for? Okay? Who are you including in your circle? All right? Now, if you got kids, you're probably going to include those kids. And you have deep, close friendships, you're going to include those. Remember, talk about making an inner circle? That's where it starts. Who are you going to prep for? And then, as you think about that, do they have special needs? And if so, what do you need to assist them in? Now, I'm going to give you some advice this morning, and it might not sound real spiritual to some, but it's real practical to all. One of the things you need to do, maybe, is look at your medicine cabinet and say, what do I need, and how long can I hold out with what I have, and how to obtain more? You know, I try to slowly, and I have been doing this for a long time, slowly back up my medications. I would like to have at least a year's worth on hand, and not everybody can do that. You know, like I said, I've been doing this for quite a while. Then the second thing I want to point out to you is that things like antibiotics, did you know they can now be bought online without a prescription? Yes, they can. So just type in antibiotics online, or antibiotics, no prescription. And they're perfectly good, legal, and the whole transaction is legal. You don't have to leave the country to do it. Okay? They've released the restrictions so we can do that. So ask yourself, what am I susceptible to? Do I get head colds? Do I susceptible to pneumonia? Am I susceptible to this or that? And buy a nice pack. And you can probably If you got the one like we got, $260. Okay, I have a half dozen different types of antibiotics on hand. Now, also make sure if you're going to do that, that you might want to go and research what each one is good for. I know you have a computer or you wouldn't be watching this. So it's simply get the antibiotics, research, run off on paper, okay, what they're good for. Okay, that's 2 steps right there. Inner circle and what are their needs. Secondly, how about some antibiotics, okay, or backing up your own medicines. And then let's talk about food. You need to buy food you really will eat. Food that you're accustomed to eating. Now, you can always freeze stuff, but if the power goes out, how long will your freeze good last? 4 days. Okay, if you don't get your freezer up and running again in 4 days, you're going to lose the whole mess. So, freeze dried is good. Canning is better. Did you know you can can hamburger and taco meat and spaghetti sauce and canning is not a difficult thing. A little time consuming. But you know what? I found that I get a lot of enjoyment. I look at that going, we did that. Roxanne did that. I did that. And knowing that we've also secured some future. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You can prep like a genius, and an earthquake could wipe it out. A flood will wash it away. But nevertheless, to be attempting to be secure. Now, here is a tip about prepping. Don't go crazy. That's right. As if you're trying to the end of the world sort of thing. You have to prep over a period of time. And now, summer is here. Price of food's going to go down. Corn on the cob will be 4, maybe 5 ears per dollar. Good time to buy some. Okay, and blanch them, which means you stick them in hot water for 2 minutes. Boiling water. Right? That's blanching. Well, you have to peel them though. Or some people just take them and throw them in the freezer in their husks. But start doing some practical things that you really will eat. Now, if you have resources, go to your meat market and ask about a quarter or even a half. Last year we bought a half of a beef at $4.50 a pound. But that included all the steaks and the hamburger and all the roast. You can't buy any piece of meat except hamburger for $4.50 a pound. And we got it all. Yes, it's a big money layout, okay? But it's also a savings. Now, as far as prepping, you should also learn, you should learn how to simply dehydrate. There's all sorts of skills there, but you can do anything from almost everything. Take that roast you had last night. What a weird thing to talk about. Take the roast you had last night, put a little seasoning on it, okay, put it in your dehydrator, and turn it into jerky. Yeah, jerky. Or if you make soups, and sometimes we do, we'll make too much soup on purpose. And then we'll take a bread pan, and put cellophane in it, fill it up, throw it in the freezer, and turn it into a brick. And so we would have bricks of soup. Because once it's frozen, you just take the pan and do another one. So you can stack bricks in your freezer. By the way, the more it's in your freezer, the cheaper it is to operate. So if you got a freezer that's almost empty, at least put some water jugs in there and save yourself some cash when it comes to the electric. So prepping is something that you can do, And there are people who have all sorts of wild ideas, and some are very primitive, and people are very good at it. However, if you're not a primitive individual like myself, okay, I'll go and I'll find vegetables at my local grocery store. Generally, the store brand is the cheapest. Okay, avoid the pop tops. Okay, get the old-fashioned type where you're gonna need a can opener because they'll keep up to 5 years. Okay, it's good. And I have a system where I simply rotate it. I built myself a little rack that holds all my canned goods in it. Interesting enough, did you know, in a rack like I built for myself, that is 8 feet by 4.5 inches by 4 feet, mounted on the wall, can hold up to 8 cases. No, not 8. 14 cases of canned goods. Cases. And I just pull from the bottom, and the new stuff goes in the top. Pull from the bottom. So it's constantly being rotated. You can do this. You're very smart and got a lot of skills. Now, once again, let me remind you, we don't prep for self. We prep for our inner circle. We prep with the idea that we're going to practice charity, even in our preparation. We're going to be able to say to ourselves, this person, this person, this person, these people are all part of my inner circle, and I'm prepared to help take care of them. You see, what good is it if we survive and our community doesn't? What good is it if, well, the Bible says, with 2 or 3 gathered together, if I can't get 2 or 3 people because I haven't taken care of them? We have a responsibility. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes. Just point blank, yes. You're your brother's brother, not his keeper. That sounds more like a zoo. You're your brother's brother, your sister's sister. Okay? So as you think about storing stuff, you can always, oh, by the way, if you're going to get beans and rice, which is very, very good, okay, let me invite you to get a metal garbage can, clean, brand new, put it in there, and put the lid on it. Okay? You can do the same thing with salt and sugar. Just put the lid on it. And if you want to, you can do the same thing with flour. Now, we use 5-gallon buckets for our flour. Nevertheless, be wise and be prepared to assist others and help others in their preparation for the days that are coming. And they're coming very quick. It's only my opinion, so eat the fish, sprout the bones. This will be the last summer that we'll be able to do this. It'll be the last summer we'll be able to actually prep for the things to come. In my opinion, come November, December, everything's going to break loose. So, anyway, love one another, watch over each other, and even in your prepping, be charitable for one another. Now, hit those buttons this morning, and if you would, hit the like button, hit the share button, okay, hit the follow button, the subscribe button, and also hit the donate button. And maybe we can still reach a few more people while we have the time. You know, I got a warning from Facebook about a week and a half ago. I have no idea what I was supposed to be doing and not doing. It's interesting enough because Facebook will cut you off, tell you what they thought you were doing, but doesn't offer any proof that you did it. Anyway, but may God bless you and keep you and cause his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you and lift up his countenance to you. May our Lord give you peace. And if it pleases him, tomorrow we'll be right back here again at the regular time, 9 o'clock.